Johnny, your girlfriend's back.
Oh, we'll fix that.
Are you the protectors of this world?
Yes, we are.
Your planet is now marked for death.
The Fantastic Four comics, based in the 60s, was a period that we decided to stage this film in. So going back to those early comics, you see which enemies and which bad guys you're going to pick and put them against.
He hungers.
What? Galactus is huge, you know, and one of the things we wanted to make sure that we captured was that scale. And it's very hard.
I will have the child, and I will spare your world.
We approached it practically, and we have a wonderful performance at the heart of it from Ralph Ineson.
Ralph is such exceptional casting.
Got it. I think you're right. Good.
You speak to him conversationally, and he is the nicest, most welcoming man, and still his voice just kind of reverberates. Everything sort of just kind of starts to coalesce.
You carry life inside you. I'm hoping that Galactus's voice sounds like he's millions of years old and he hasn't spoken for millions of years. It's all about that size and trying to get your head around that as much as you possibly can. I will have the child. So for me, it started with breath and making sort of more yogic breath so you can hear it and feel it, and trying to imagine what that would do on a huge scale. So I watched lots of tsunami videos and tornadoes and wild nature's disasters, and just to think that that's the power of his size and his lungs and what that could do, and just try and concentrate on things bigger than human scale. He will one day carry a power that eclipses my own. Enough to destroy all there is, or ever was. And then, obviously, everything gets built around you, the suit and everything like that, which then starts to inform it. The costume is absolutely amazing. There's no two ways about it. It's the most stunning looking thing.
Galactus was a massive challenge for us, not just in his size, but in the complexity of the costume. The biggest challenge was to make something on a human scale that we know is going to be blown up into an absolutely gigantic character. So every little bit of detail on him has to be minute and tiny so that when he is blown up to that huge scale, it all feels very real. He's so big and he's so detailed that when you look at him, you could almost believe that he, in himself, was a spaceship. We really embraced that, and we made what was one of the biggest costumes we've ever made. And it was pretty successful, I think. Our lovely actor, Ralph Ineson, he had no complaints. He said it was pretty comfy, which was a shock to all of us.
The one without this mask to start.
It was as comfortable as it could possibly be. It's very heavy, but it was very wearable, and I could do my job perfectly well.
So this is where the sausage is made. With Harvey Elder, AKA the Mole Man, I didn't know how they were going to approach the character. And in actuality, the character is a lot more humanized and grounded. It was less about getting to be showy, and it was more about trying to be real. Butter me up. It's like, how do you ground this in reality and sort of remind people of a disgruntled educational figure growing up, or like your grouchy next door neighbor? What a grand gesture. Thanks for the big.
From a costume point of view, it was great fun to work with Paul Waterhauser, who, you know, inhabits the character and really embraced the kind of idea that we were going to use real clothes and it would all be real but heightened. And we're really happy with how he turned out, actually. He looks like the Mole Man from the comic books, but he could be a real person.
Form a line there, a line here. Good evening. Good to see you. Hello. Welcome. This is a safe place. The costume was everything I could have dreamed of, as far as the gloves and the sort of like makeshift low-income cape that he wears, and everything just feels like it's been lived in for a long time. And I think, the smell of it, the feel of it, the look of it really helped me with the character, I think.
Felt like maybe it was a little bit like an in-between.
Say no more.
Okay.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
totally right. It's almost like I'm wearing a superhero costume, but it's someone who isn't a superhero but wants to feel like one. So in a way, that plays to Mole Man's insecurities, and it really kind of helped me with the performance in a way.
The mine was a challenge. We went to a real mine up north in Derbyshire. Standing in the mine and seeing what the crew did in terms of dressing it, watching what people accomplished and what it gave us creatively on the screen, which I don't believe looks like a set. I felt that was quite amazing.
He turned you into this. Shalabal.
In our film, Shalabal is a Silver Surfer. Just like everybody in our cast, I was just basically looking for Swiss Army knives. I was looking for people who who had every tool that they could do everything.
Give up the child. Surely he would do the same.
I've been a big fan of Julia Garner. She's an incredible actor. There's a boldness and a theatricality to her when she chooses to turn it on, and a quiet restraint when she chooses to go that way. She's also fearless.
I, Herald, Galactus.
I put her on a 40-foot-tall lift in front of 400 extras in Times Square. She just jumped in and just took over.
That was not only the Silver Surfer's first day of meeting the Fantastic Four, but that was also my first day, which is actually very cool that that got to be my first day. Luckily, it worked out. Before.
Yeah.
It's my first time in mocap. It's like a little weird, but it's kind of nice not having to be in the same costume every day. You don't have to do hair or makeup, which is really nice, but it's a different type of acting. Use this time to rejoice and celebrate. For your time is short. Everything gets picked up, so it's almost like theater in that sense, in a way. So you always have to be on, because even if you're off camera, you're never really off camera because you have a camera right here. It always keeps you on your toes.
I saw Julia play this depth of emotion about essentially having made a sacrifice, ultimately, for her family. She's a slave. She's given her life up in order to protect the people that she loves. And so that was a very interesting, I thought it was essential for the story, because you have this family that feel the same, and then suddenly you have this other person who's having the same experience, and yet seems like a threat to us.
Designing a surfer is essentially designing three things. You're designing the form of the body and the face. You're designing the surface quality, meaning how reflective is it? And then you're also designing what it's reflecting. In order to do those designs, it's actually been hugely challenging and time-consuming.
I think that helps justify.
Matt had really strong ideas about the surfer. He really wanted it to look like old, tarnished mirrors, but just to create interesting patterns, because the character is also supposed to be ancient. And trying to make a character feel that old without feeling, diseased or broken. The tarnish has gone a long way to doing that. It's been an interesting and cool process.
That's some stuff that we looked at together. We'll do so this is separate. Cool. Should we try just running through one and we'll start to dial in this lighting?
Absolutely. You have failed. As do all who fight.
It's a huge opportunity to bring characters to life that I've loved on the page, that have been a part of my life for so long as a fan, It's nice to imagine a world that's optimistic, where people can come together. And oftentimes, it's really nice to see when the world is threatened, Earth comes together, the world comes together to work towards a common goal. And it's nice to put a film out there that offers a different approach.
Thank you for clicking on our video, everybody. If you like what you saw here, please make sure you like the video and subscribe and share with your friends who like this sort of content. Joblo remains an independent company, and we appreciate all of your support.